Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the real Cut My Music Wrestling. It's your boy, the Black Patriot, once again bringing you the dopest wrestling content on the net because wrestling is my number one priority and wrestling is my number one passion. Remember, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's a small click for you, but it means the world to me. Liking, comment, sharing, it helps grow the channel. It helps me grow, I grow, you grow, we grow together, and I'll be here, the Black Patriot, bringing you the wrestling content that you like. So tonight I'm going to do a review of Monday Night Raw. And let me just say, I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's just me, but I feel like these shows are getting worse and worse and worse every week. Last week's Raw was mind-numbingly boring. It seemed slow. It seemed plodding. Nothing happened. Nothing new happened. Nobody was elevated. Nothing made sense. This week's Raw was not as slow as last week's. They were moving at a frantic pace. Maybe they realized how slow their pacing was last week and decided to turn it up. They were moving at a frantic pace, but just because the show moved fast does not mean it was good. It was still almost unwatchable. Not as bad as last week's, but definitely one of the worst episodes I've ever seen. Let's get right into it. The show kicks off with a boring segment from Logan Paul and Gunther. I don't know how many times I have to say it. If you've been a fan of my channel, if you've been following along, if you've seen my other videos, you know I am not a fan of Gunther. And if you think I'm lying or if you think I'm just hating, watch him. Watch this segment. Him and Logan Paul is another one that I don't like. I'll give Logan Paul credit. He is very athletic. He can put on a match. He can do moves, but he does not understand storytelling. He does not understand the art of pro wrestling. He is just a spot monkey. He can do things in the ring because he is an athletic man. He's in pretty good shape. He's an athlete, but he does not have the mind of a professional wrestler. He does not look the part, and he cannot cut a promo to save his life. So you got Logan Paul, who has go-away heat, and Gunther, who is a charisma vacuum. You put them together in the ring at the same time with mics in their hand, and what you get is a boring promo. It was terrible. Like, I was like, what is this? Is you trying to put me to sleep as soon as the show come on? Nothing interesting came out of this segment. Nothing entertaining came from this segment. Gunther is not talented. He is not good on the mic. He lacks charisma. And no matter how much WWE wants to call him the ring general, he is not a ring general. He only does a few moves. He does a chop. He does a power bomb. Like, his finisher is a power bomb. A basic ass power bomb is this man's finisher. And he's a ring general? No, sorry. I'm not buying it, and you shouldn't either. And it's not even like WWE is trying to hide it. They put Gunther front and center at the beginning of this show, and he cuts a nothing promo. Him and Logan Paul had nothing to say. It was so stupid. At the end of the day, the gist of the promo was Gunther felt disrespected that Logan Paul is so confident that he can beat Jey Uso because Jey Uso already beat Gunther. So Gunther was like, he takes that personal because if you think you can beat Jey Uso and he beat me, so you must think you can beat me too. He gets in Logan Paul's face and trying to intimidate him, but Gunther is horrible. I don't care, man. When I see Gunther on my TV screen, I immediately check out. He has nothing to say. It's nothing I want to see. I'm not a fan of Gunther. He's not entertaining. The best thing about this promo was the end when Jey Uso sneaks into the ring after Gunther left, Logan Paul in there. Of course, he come up behind him, catches him with a super kick, lays his goofy looking ass out. That was the best part of the whole promo. Jey Uso coming in and putting Logan Paul to sleep again, because it's the second time he slept Logan Paul and had him sprawled out, knocked out in the ring. Obviously, Jey Uso is going to beat Logan Paul. And then Gunther is the #1 contender, so he said he's going to face whoever wins the match between Logan Paul and Jey Uso. So obviously Jey Uso is going to win, and now we're running Jey Uso versus Gunther back again? After they had a mid-match at WrestleMania, after their build to their WrestleMania match for months was terrible, but we're going to run Gunther versus Jey back again? I'm telling you, Triple H is not cooking. He is not a good booker, and he is not creative at all. He's just recycling things that he's already done. Things that were bad, but he's still doing it. I don't get this. The segment was terrible. It was just trash. Moving along, they show Roxanne Perez, I'm a fan of her, in the back, signing her Raw contract. So she was the former NXT Women's Champion. She's been showing up on Raw for months now, but now she's just now signing a contract. Whatever. I'm not even gonna dump on that. I like Roxanne Perez. They made it official. She's on Raw now, even though she's been on Raw for months now. But whatever. It's official. Roxanne Perez is going to be in a match later on with Becky Lynch. It's going to be a triple threat for the not #1 contender. It's a qualifying match for Money in the Bank. I like to see Roxanne. I like to see her wrestle, so I'm happy. Next match is announced is Penta and AJ Styles versus Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. The match is what it is. It is what it is. How many times have we seen Penta versus a member of Judgment Day? How many times? I'm gonna tell you, over 15. It's been like he fought Dominic, he's fought Finn multiple times. The only person he haven't fought is Carlito and the girls, because obviously he's not gonna fight the girls, and Carlito don't wrestle. I don't even know what Carlito is there for. He never wrestles. But whatever. It is what it is. Before the match starts, though, there's a backstage segment with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. Paul Heyman wants to give Jey Uso some facts. And again, I'm going to give you a fact. Nobody cares about this. There's in the back, he's telling you, I'm going to tell you to the face what kind of guy I am, so they can't say I betrayed you later on. So we already know now that something's going to happen in the main event. Either Paul Heyman's going to interfere or Seth Rollins is going to come out and interfere. We know something is going to happen. Paul Heyman is insinuating that something might happen, yo. This group is already dead in the water, and it makes no sense. Seth Rollins is self-admittedly winding down. He's already said that he does not have that kind of time left in his career. He said his body cannot take the strain of wrestling anymore. So he's self-admittedly on the decline. Then you got Braun Breaker, who is young, who is strong. He got the look. He got all the tools to be a top guy. He's in this faction as an enforcer, as Seth Rollins' bodyguard. He's just here to do, he's a lackey. He's just here to do Seth Rollins' bidding. Paul Heyman even said that Jey Uso, you're going to face Braun Breaker tonight. I negotiated this match. Braun Breaker is not interested in the World Heavyweight title. He just wants to slow your momentum. What? How does that make any sense? This guy was just the Intercontinental title. Why on the Intercontinental champion? Why on earth would he not want a shot at the World Heavyweight title? It makes no sense. This guy should be front and center. The faction should be revolving around him, because he is the future if he's booked correctly. But That's, we already know that's probably not going to happen. But Bron Breakker should be front and center. He should not be Seth Rollins' enforcer. He should not be Seth Rollins' lackey. If he's going to face the World Heavyweight Champion, it should be for a title. Again, because the way WWE book, we know that Jay is not going to drop the belt, but at least put Bron Breakker in a position to showcase him. And even if he does not win the title, they can make me believe he might win the title. But just don't have this guy out there just fighting for no reason and then gonna literally tell the fans he's not interested in the world title. That makes no sense. Seth Rollins isn't that guy. He's no Cena. He's no Roman Reigns. He should not be the leader of this faction. Or if he is the leader, he should be there to try to elevate Braun. It's nonsensical. It makes no sense. It's like a 10-year-old is booking this. It's like these people who have no prior wrestling experience, and they do because they're running a billion-dollar wrestling promotion. But this is the crap that they're choosing to put out on TV on a weekly basis. And also, I harp a lot on Triple H. But if you notice at the end of the show, it's not just Triple H producing this crap. It is Lee Fittins as well. And somebody need to start calling him out. And since I haven't heard it, I'm going to be the one to say it. Lee Fittins sucks at his job as well. If it's him and Paul Levesque producing this crap, then he's just as crappy at booking and production and creative as Triple H is. They show a recap. And this is all while we're waiting for the tag match to start. They've already announced the tag match, and the wrestlers have already made their way to the ring, but they're doing all this. They recapped last week's Raw, the boring, long, drawn-out, crappy, toilet water Raw. They recapped that one, and then we're back on this match. Pat McAfee calls this a dream match. I wanted to throw up when he said that. Like, my stomach started to ache. Like, shut up, yo. Stay on commentary, but stop trying to gaslight your audience. This is not a dream match. We've seen Penta versus almost every member of Judgment Day, and we've seen these matches every week. This is not a dream match. Nobody wants to see this. This is just random, thrown together BS, yo. It's also noted that Finn Balor, they say Finn Balor was the first person to pin or submit Penta. So that is true, because Penta is, like I say, he's been running through these Judgment Day members like it's nothing. So this is the first time he's been pinned in WWE. For the most part, the match was good. The actual physical altercation inside the ring, yes, that was good. I will give these guys their due. Finn Balor is good. Obviously, AJ Styles is a beast. JD McDonough is also good. So, yes, the match was good. The match quality was good. It could have been better. It wasn't the best match that I've ever seen, but it was not the worst match I've ever seen, all right? But the reason for them to be in the ring together is dumb. How many times are we going to see the same people wrestle each other over and over again? No matter how good the match is, if the story is not keeping up with the action, the story is boring and repetitive, yo. There's a diving spot to the outside of the ring that was pretty good. AJ, when the match was started off very slow, but then when AJ Styles came in the ring off the hot tag, he came in, he's cleaning house, and AJ picked up the pace. He's a veteran. He must have realized that this match was dragging, so he was like, I got to do something. So AJ comes in, he's 100 miles an hour flying around the ring. I like that, and like I said, that's that veteran mindset. He knew the match was going nowhere, so he was like, I got to do something, yo. There's a cool spot that harkens back to when Dominic got one over on Finn Balor. JD McDonough comes off the top rope and tries to land on AJ Styles. AJ Styles moves out the way and he splashes Finn Balor just like Dominic did at the pay-per-view. He ended up splashing Finn Balor. There's a cool Mexican destroyer off the steps to the outside of the ring. Like, Penta really cleaned JD McDonough's clock with that. There was a lot of good spots in this move, especially, like I say, after AJ Styles came in off the hot tag. There was a lot of stuff going on. And then after the Mexican Destroyer, Penta gets hit by El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable, hits him with the loaded mask because he has a metal plate in the front of his mask, headbutts him in the back of his head, knocks him out. Finn Balor comes out of the ring, throws him back in the ring, hits him with the coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor has pinned Penta again. El Grande Americano has cost Penta another match, and that was that. What I want to say about this, I've already said it. We've seen Penta and AJ Styles versus multiple members of the Judgment Day. It's like it's on a loop now. We've seen El Grande Americano constantly interfere in Penta's matches, and we've seen Chad Gable portray this character that no one cares about. Again, Chad Gable should be this era's Kurt Angle. He should be a wrestling, submission, grappling machine. He has the look. He has the pedigree. He's a technical wrestler just like Angle was before him. But instead of using him in that way, they make him portray a Mexican character, El Grande Americano. And it's been months now. He's been on this feud with luchadors for months now. When is it going to come to an end? What is Triple H obsession with this long-term storytelling, this long-term booking? Bruh, I understand that, yes, I'm not saying storylines should start and wrap up immediately, but they should not be dragged out for months, especially mid-card to lower tier storylines that aren't really relevant to the show. The main event storylines, okay, let them cook, let them simmer. They can stew a little bit. But the mid-card and the undercard storylines lasting for months, like, come on. Come on. Nobody cares about this stuff. The crowd are either bored or they're singing. If there isn't a song for them chant or a wrestler's interest music for them to sing, they're quiet. Why do you think this is? Because they are not entertained. So I guess they're trying to entertain themselves, yo. There's Io Sky is being interviewed backstage, and then Becky Lynch has come over and tells her, hey, I'm coming for the Women's World Heavyweight title. Io Sky says, I'll be ready. That was the first and last time we seen the Women's World Heavyweight title champion on the show. Why in the heck is your Women's World Champion not wrestling on your flagship program? We seen her briefly in the back for that segment with Becky, and then we don't see Io Sky anymore. If you are entertained by this, please let me know, because I'm not. I almost fell asleep on this program, and it is what it is, Moving right along, this is the triple threat match. It is Becky Lynch versus Roxanne Perez versus Natalya. I actually really like this match. Again, just like the match previously, the in-ring action was done pretty good. These ladies came to work. They came to wrestle. Hats off to them. I enjoyed it. It is also a Money in the Bank qualifying match, and Roxanne Perez wins. So I'm happy to see that. As you know, I'm a fan of her. She won the Money in the Bank qualifying match. She'll be joining Alexa Bliss in the match, the only other person to qualify. The match was actually pretty good and pretty well wrestled. There was a brawl segment broke out between Natalya and Becky. A brawl session broke out between Roxanne and Becky, and they were throwing the hands. And then at one point, Roxanne is running the rope. She got Becky in one corner. She got Natalya in the other corner. She's hitting them both with flying uppercuts. Took them out with a super kick, a springboard, moonsault. So she has proven to me that she is definitely the most technically sound female in the company. She can do the little flippy stuff like a luchador. She can do the technical stuff. So she's a hybrid. She has many different wrestling styles, many different wrestling moves that she can call from. And I like that. Becky is the only legit star, though. because Roxanne did come out to no pop. And I feel like she'll get over eventually because she is so good. I think the fans are going to eventually realize that. She came out to no pop. Natalya came out to no pop. The crowd did pop hard for Becky. So Becky has to come back. Remember, Becky was sort of semi-retired. She had been away from WWE for so long. I think they finally brought her back so she can try to get other people over, try to give these people the rub, try to use her star power to get some of these people over. Oh, before I move on, Becky was taken out of the match by Lyra Valkyria. Remember, her and Becky have been beefing with each other. They fought at WrestleMania and Lyra Valkyria won, but then on Raw, Becky had to fuck her up for winning. So I guess this is Lyra's get back. So Lyra is on get back now. Lyra had Becky caught Natalya with a manhandle slam and was going to put her away. Lyra came in, pulled Becky out of the ring. They're brawling all over the outside, up the ramp. That sets Roxanne up to hit Natalya with the pop rocks for the win. So thank you, Lyra. You helped my girl win. Appreciate it. The next match is a throwaway, nothing match that is just ridiculous. Another feud that's been going on way too long. Grayson Waller versus Sheamus. The feud is nonsensical because Austin Theory and Grayson Waller are tag team partners. They're A-Town Down Under. It's been months they've been teasing a split. Last week, Austin Theory lost to Sheamus because Grayson Waller tricked him into taking the match. This week, Grayson Waller lost to Sheamus and Austin Theory didn't try to help him and even laughed at him when he got beat. So they're still playing on that. Or when are they going to turn on each other? Yes, when are they going to turn on each other? Because I'm getting sick and tired of watching this crap. I'm getting sick and tired of sitting back, waiting literally 5, 6, 7 months for a payoff to a feud. Like, come on. Turn these guys on each other. And we already know that it's going to be Austin Theory turning face. So let's do it. Let's do it. Like, it's been months, yo. Like, how long are you expecting me to be emotionally invested in a feud that is boring, but you're drawing it out for months? I'm no longer emotionally invested. I no longer care. This is doo-doo. Let's keep moving. There's another backstage segment with Seth Rollins and Gunther. Gunther again? Gunther? Like, all this show feels like nothing but filler. It seems like it's just something to put on TV as they race towards a pay-per-view. Because there's a pay-per-view Saturday night main event, and then less than 2 weeks after that, there's another pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. So these shows are becoming nonsensical, boring, and oftentimes just downright stupid because they don't care. They're just sprinting towards the pay-per-views. Why do we have so many pay-per-views? Back in the day, it seemed like it was like one pay-per-view a month. So in a year, you might get 12 or 13 pay-per-views. Now, it's like we're getting pay-per-views every 2 weeks. Like, this is not wrestling. This is an ad company disguised as a wrestling promo. All WWE wants you to do is consume and spend your money. And somebody has to say it. The fans are becoming bots. The fans are drones. They're either checked out, not saying anything, or cheering, singing for dumb stuff. Chanting, "This is awesome," for mediocre matches. Like, what? They chanted, "This is awesome" during the tag match that opened the show, but the match was mid. If I had to, like I said, it was good. I never said it was great. I never said it was amazing. If I had to give that match a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 5. If I had to rank it on an A, B, C, D, I would give it a C. It was okay. These bots, WWE drones, mindless, lifeless, automated fans are chanting, "This is awesome," because WWE has conditioned them to accept Mediocrity. That's all this is. And Triple H, Lee Fittings, you should be ashamed of yourself. Next, there's another Money in the Bank qualifying match. Money in the Bank qualifying match between Rhea Ripley, Zoe Stark, and the returning Kairi Sane. Who do you think is going to win this match? Who do you think won this match? Obviously, Rhea Ripley won this match. Rhea Ripley does not lose. She's booked so strong to the point that people have been calling her Super Rhea, like when they used to call John Cena Super Cena because nothing could beat him. And they've been calling her Rhea Hogan because obviously we know how Hulk Hogan was pushed back in the day. Rhea does not lose a match. It's almost to the point where if she's in the match, you might as well just check out because you know she's going to win. She wins everything. The only thing of significant that happened in this match is Zoe Stark actually legitly injured herself. So I am sorry to hear that. I like Zoe Stark, and I wish her a speedy recovery. Kairi Sane just came back, so of course she wasn't going to win. Rhea Ripley beat. So Zoe Stark is taken out of the match, and a triple threat match is now in a one-on-one. Rhea dominates, and she pins Kairi clean off of a riptide. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. But we're already at the main event. So, like I said, they must have realized that their pacing last week was just a drag, so they sped it up this week. We're already at the main event. It's Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker. And just as I said before, just as it's been alluded to, this match ends in a no contest, a DQ, because Seth Rollins does interfere, as I said he would. There was also, before the match, again backstage, a quick little backstage segment, Seth Rollins was talking to Logan Paul. He told Logan Paul that if you beat Jey Uso and if you get past Gunther, I'm coming for you. However, tonight, you might be in... He said the odds are in your favor because Jey Uso is going to get hurt. And he was like, and you will know how you won that title and you will owe me. So everybody owing each other favor. We're back to the favor. So the match between Jey Uso and Bron Breakker is predictable. Jey is why I like Jey, because he's over, he's charismatic and entertaining. He has that aspect down. His ring work is not that great. He wrestles his typical Jey match, and Braun does his thing. Braun is not that great in the ring either. Outside of spearing the heck out of people, he really doesn't have a move set, but it is what it is. Jey has Bron Breakker down. He's going in for a super kick or a splash. Who knows what he was going to do. Paul Heyman pulls his leg, trip him up because Paul Heyman was going to interfere. That was already alluded to. Jey goes outside of the ring because forget my person I'm wrestling. I'm about to go fight Paul Heyman because he grabbed my leg. Paul Heyman actually takes his suit jacket off and throws his hands up like he's going to square up with Jey. Jey continues to advance on Paul Heyman, and out of nowhere, Seth Rollins comes from behind and attacks him. They throw Jey back in the ring. The referee throws the match out. As I said, it will happen. They roll Jey Uso in the ring. Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins commence to beating the crap out of him. Just like last week, out comes Sami Zayn. Out comes CM Punk. A big brawl happens. The heels are defeated. They're outside of the ring. They're going wrestling to the back. Jey Uso is still in the ring. Logan Paul comes out of nowhere, sneak shot him, lays him out. So Logan Paul finally gets one up on Jey Uso. After Jey Uso knocked him out twice, the show ends with Logan Paul laying out Jey Uso. And I'm just like, this is terrible. This is terrible. They spend a lot of time on some basketball thing that happened, and I don't know because I don't follow basketball, so I didn't care. And as a wrestling fan, that was just one more thing for me to check out of. Just one more thing for me about the show for me to not care about, and it is what it is. And I'm going to tell you this. I do not enjoy doing these kind of videos. I want to be excited. I like pro wrestling. I want to turn on my TV and enjoy what I'm seeing. But If you're going to tell me you're going to have a show that's 3 hours and they only had 4 matches, so what is that? That is filler content. This show meant nothing. Nobody was elevated. No storylines were advanced. No titles were defended. Like, what is this? The New Day, the tag team champions, were on the show, but they didn't wrestle. They just cut a boring promo that the crowd could not care about. The crowd couldn't care less, and neither could I. They gonna face the War Raiders and American Made next week, and I don't care. The New Day are the tag team champions. They have been doing nothing. They defeated the War Raiders for the tag titles, who were nothing when they were the champions. When these guys had their match at WrestleMania, you could have heard a pin drop in the arena. That's how quiet the crowd was. Nobody cares, yo. Do something. And I don't blame the wrestlers. Again, I blame WWE booking, WWE creative, Triple H, Paul Levesque, and Lee Fittings. You guys suck. They have the nerve to put their name up on the screen at the end of every show now, produced by Lee Fittings and Paul Levesque. You guys suck. You're not creative. You're not entertaining. These shows are terrible. You're making your wrestlers look like jobbers. Nobody has any credibility. It's only like 2 or 3 stars. Like, what is this? We have not seen Roman Reigns in weeks. We haven't seen Cody Rhodes in weeks. John Cena is the WWE champion. He doesn't even show up. Like, get this mess out of here, yo. Like, I'm over it. At this point, I'm just over it. So, yes, guys, that was my Raw review. Wasn't much to see here. It wasn't as bad as last week's, but it was not good this week. It wasn't entertaining at all. All right? That's it. That's what it is, yo. This is what we can expect from WWE. World Wrestling Entertainment, and it's not entertaining, young. One word, 5 letters, trash, yo. Like, get it out of here. Remember, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate that, and it helps me out greatly. Peace out. Stay safe.